Hey everyone, I'm Sanjay, the co-founder and CEO of Suchama. The world thinks manufacturing plant works on highly standardized process, but that's simply not true. The plant that manufactures the mobile phone you're holding in your pocket is totally different from the plant that manufactures the car. In a plant, there are endless number of variables which keep changing every single day, every single hour, every single minute, either from man point of view or material point of view or machine point of view. For example, manpower didn't show up on the line, the machine broke down, or material didn't arrive in the plant. Even the manufacturing operations in the same company run differently from plant to plant. Hey Ayush, very good evening.
Good evening, Sanjay.
Hey, can you share me a dispatch plan? I just heard rotary machine and laminated machines are not working since last 6 hours.
Sure, Sanjay. Let me give you the plan in next 3 to 4 hours by getting the data dump from SAP and various vendor portals.
So now what Ayush will do, Ayush will download the data dump either from legacy based systems like SAP or Accel or Beyond or like system. First of all, these systems doesn't communicate with each other like a bad employee sitting in silos. Second major problem, these Excel sheet like system doesn't have a context understanding, domain understanding or workflow understanding. And these SAP like systems works on deterministic paradigm based approach. As you all know, deterministic programming is brittle. Have been into more than 200 plus factories in India. We have seen for a plant size of $100 million, they end up losing 5 million annually because of these hiccups which planner does. Let me present you a case study for a global FMCG brand, how we are transforming their dispatch planning cycles with Suchama AI.
Create me a dispatch plan for the morning shift. Suchama AI automatically pulls the data from SAP and various vendor portals, reconciles it and generates a plan, keeping all the KPIs balanced all at once. Everything is done within minutes. You might be thinking that planning cycle is over, but that's not true. Disruptions are always knocking the door. The production gets delayed because of the machine changeover, the truck didn't arrive in time, or the priorities have changed. Now, me as a planner, what I will do, I will open up the Excel sheets, start making certain assumptions based on hit and trials, and finally fix the plan. Although the dispatch will happen, but it will be at the scale of missed opportunities, higher transportation cost, and many other KPIs that are getting missed. With Suchama AI, what the planner has, it has the view of what went wrong, why it went wrong, like 6 locations are currently unserved, and the recommendations how to mitigate those gaps. You can see Suchama has suggested 2 major recommendations. Let's go with the second round, in which it tells, let's utilize the aging inventory which is there in the shop floor to fill those gaps. This is an FMCG brand. Inventory is very critical here because of the scraps that happen. Now with Suchama, all it happens is that user will just say, show me the STO aging for more than 12 days. Suchama will automatically resurface the data of all the stocks and show to the user that yes, there are definitely a lot of critical inventories that are kept in the shop floor which can be utilized to fill those gaps. Now Suchama, the user will just tell Suchama, transfer these inventories to the locations where there are 0 vehicles intended and regenerate me a plan. What Suchama will do is, it will automatically look into these aging inventories, all the databases, the context it has learned over the time, and finally generate an optimized, much better plan. Now from 6 unserved locations, we are just at 3 unserved locations. You might be thinking, how did Suchama got so intelligent? It's a simple process. User just need to define a worker of his kind, say a dispatch planner of his kind. And Suchama recorder will be sitting into the systems of the user. It will understand the data and the process like a new hire understands that. Along with that, the user just tells what input sources it works, what are the output formats he needs the data in, and finally create a step-by-step SOP. SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedure, what the user generally follows to generate a plan, which will be coming up soon. Yes, SOP here is very critical. It tells what the purpose of the plan is, for example, dispatch planning, the input, what he will be utilizing, what he utilizes over the time, the processes, the critical KPIs and the constraints, and finally the output in which he requires things. Now if certain disruptions happen, what the user has, he has 2 things in hand. The faster onboarding, which a legacy based system takes months to do so, Suchama does it in 14 days. Along with that, Suchama gives the control in the hands of the user, where he just modifies certain disruptions. Say for example, he adds a new warehouse. it can be easily integrated, where a legacy-based system will take again few weeks or days to make that happen.
Hey, this was not a fucking demo which we just presented. We are already live in 7 different factories in India. That includes the largest EMS of India, the automotive OEMs and tier 1s. And we are rolling out to 200 plus factories within next 9 months. And that is why we are building Suchama AI, a context-aware intelligence layer for manufacturing. The way I think of it as we are deepening the interaction between manufacturing realities and the users, helping teams move from dynamically changing scenarios to thrive in the age of adaptability. Thank you.
Not a demo indeed. Questions?
I really love what you showed here. So one of the questions that I have, like when you're making a manufacturing sector is then you might be building some ontology, some semantic layer on top of the domain that you're working in. But is it like for each of the different companies or factories, we are building these separate sub-agents, and within that, what happens for different languages is they might have different ways of doing the same things. So how are you thinking about any of that?
Yeah, so definitely every factory is different, every processor are different. So that's what our onboarding system is. Our recorder sits into the system of the user. It understands the data modifications that he does, the data where he works, the processes that he executes to finally execute the plan. But that is not it. That's one part of the plan. But the behavioral changes he reacts to these disruptions, that is the major crux, which our system learns over the time of 14 days and starts giving him the plan at the end.
Just want to ask, dispatch planning in what kind of size of organizations you are catering to? Because generally it takes 7 to 10 weeks just for a mixed integer programmer or linear programming for dispatch planning in the speed of physics.
Yeah, so for the mixed optimization kind of a person who will be doing this thing, he will understand the domain first and then he will do this programming kind of stuff. Here, the domain user who understands the entire workflow, entire data, he itself will be explaining the process. Our LLMs, our self-trained models, they will finally execute these tasks. It's just getting the information from the domain expert itself, not from some intermediary kind of person who will be making things happen.
One more question. Right here in the front.
Yeah. Can you?
Oh, hold on, wait. Oh, wait. No, wait. You got me. Sorry. I have to ask afterwards.
Can you talk about the actual implementation at your client side? Do you guys do the implementation? Who does it from there, and what are the timelines? What effort is required?
So it's a mixed effort from the domain expert and the forward deployed engineers that we have. Definitely the user is not that much adaptable to this kind of technology in a very initial part. So we have forward deployed engineers who assist them how to get the information, how to transfer the knowledge from their head to our Suchama intelligence.
That's the last question. Thank you guys for that cracking demo and product. I'm going to invite our next two founders onto stage. Before we do that, one of the things